Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Clash of Clans Bandboard Crash Course Part 3 by Deb Striker. And we have quite reached at the end of our course, not very far from where we're going to deploy on the Part 4. So the Part 3, we're going to dive into some of the technical details of this course. So I would say take a pause if you have to digest some of the information if you're very unfamiliar with them, and if you get along with this, then I'll be very happy that you go along with the content that I have put in so much effort. So the first thing we're going to look into is to get and post API calls using Postman. So we're going to use the Postman. The services that we registered in the beginning of the Part 2, we're going to use them now, authenticate, and see what sort of information we're able to get and how we're able to interact with those API services before we can build on our actual piece of program that we're going to build at the end of it. And this will help us also to implement our logic, business logic, for our piece of code, how we're going to interact with those objects and get them, and what object would we require or information that we require from both of the API services. So I'm going to go a little fast here because the videos could possibly be a little long, but I suggest you that you take a pause and download this information first and then carry on, so that way you will be able to kind of like keep up with it. So let's begin with the browser. Open up your browser, and the first thing we're going to interact is with the Clash of Clans API. So go ahead and log in. The link will be down in the descriptions just in case, but you probably now be familiar with these websites that I'm going to walk through and get this information that I require. So from here, you're going to go to My Account. From there, you're going to either create your key, or if you have created in the past on the Part 2 sections, then use that key. So I already have copied the key, so I don't even have to open it. So I'm just going to quickly go to the documentation. Let's refresh. Right, I'm probably going to have to log in, so let me quickly pause. So we are back to the documentation sections. Sometimes what happens is that when you're not logging during a session, and then session gets killed, and you kind of have to log in again. But we don't have to worry. Once we set this up with the Postman, we can directly test. We don't even have to access these websites. So it automates our workflows and much convenience. So the first thing we're gonna test is a clan information. So we're gonna have a clan tag, and we're gonna test and see how this API responds back to us. And you can see it's the endpoint is a /clans for that, and and the request URL. I will type that in a minute, so you can actually follow along rather than just looking in this. But again, go through this documentation, you'll find every information. I did not make any information out by myself. I actually dig through this document before I actually started to record this video, and I'm just going through them. So nothing was given to me. I have to dig through, so you do have to if you want to, in order to build something for yourself. So I'm going to search for Postman. And for you, probably it's if you're using Windows, then go on Start menu and search for Postman, or where you have installed it. So this is one of the tests that I did previously. I'm just going to go ahead and delete it because I'm going to do it right from the scratch. So you're probably going to be in the history right here, or somewhere around, but you just have to find something called collections. So within this collection, we're going to create a lot of collections of like a folder. And within that folder, we're going to have all our requests. So we don't have to actually, when we have too many requests, so I have to go around and looking for one. So it's all organized in a file. So go ahead and go create collections. And the collection name is going to be Clash of Clans API. Right. And so that's descriptive. Go ahead if you want to look around here, what's going on, and what's up with this, all this information. But the first thing first, we're going to do, go to variables. So the keys that are reusable. So when I say reusable, means that key, we're going to always send authentication. When we're going to send a request all the time, we're going to send the authentication key with it. So we're using this key constantly. So it's a constant value. So basically, but the key is not changing here. So do not misunderstand me. So we're going to use a reusable value. It's not changing, but we're always sending it. So it's best to store it in a variable where we can reuse it rather than keep on copying and pasting and coming back, just to make my workflow better. So over here, you're going to write your variable name. And over here, you're going to copy your key and paste it over here. So that's what I'm going to do now. So let's call this one Cock API. Sorry, token. Sorry. And right over here in the current value, we're going to paste our key. So once you have pasted, what we're going to do is go to authorizations and select. There are different types of authorizations that goes in to authorize the key, but this is the best way to find that what type of authorization. Again, refer to the documentation. It says what type of tokens and what type of authentication it allows in order for your user to get information. For this Clash of Clans API, I'm going to use the barrier token. And over here, we're going to call our variable. So if we didn't use the variable, then we would have copied and pasted the token again and again. But now we're going to automate it by using that. So here we're going to call conc underscore token. And we're going to close that. Perfect. So make sure you have followed along and everything is correct. So we're going to go ahead and create. Perfect. I'm going to close this in a minute. So now the first thing we're going to test is the clan. So that's the one we're going to test. So let's go back here and let's say add request. So now the request name is going to be get clan. So we are trying to get the information of a clan, and it's going to be the Clash of Clans API folder right here, and save to Clash of Clans API. Yep. So this is a get method of Clash of Clans API, and you can see type of the method is get and the name. So now what we're going to do is put our URL where we're going to request and the clan tag. So now we don't have to do any other setup for tokens and etc. So this should be more than enough to go. So go ahead and type https://API dot clash of clans dot /v1 version 1 /clans / now. So we're gonna get the clans information. So let's have a look again. So it's a /clan So that's the endpoint. So each endpoint means something. So if you want to get information about members, so this is the endpoint, this is the endpoint, and this is the endpoint. So now the clan takes a clan tag information. So you can see clans / clan tag basically. So let me open this up. And so we're going to pass in the clan tag. So now I do understand that clan tag starts with a hash key, so a pound key. So we're gonna put something like %23, which is equivalent of pound. So %23, and then I'm gonna just put in a random clan tag for the test purposes. So 8p 2q G08p, and now we have a proper URL with the correct request endpoints. So let's go ahead and send, and hopefully we'll get some response. And there you go, we got some response. So first thing first, I'll save this information because I know this is the valid information I've given, and it works perfectly. So let's take a look what we got. So I'm gonna just put this up a little bit. And so we got tag, name, type, whether it's open or not, descriptions, locations, and bunch of information in an JSON format or an array object, whichever you want to call it. And you can see all the information has been retrieved here basically. And so what I'm gonna go now to the next part, because we just wanted to see how this information was retrieved and so on and so forth. So with the three main information that we're going to use is the clan, player, and the word log. So, and let's go ahead and create the next request here. And so, as you know, we're gonna call this one to get a player information for this request. So I'm gonna go ahead and put get player, and if you want to put additional description, feel free to do so for further explanation. And there you go. So now what I'm going to do from this one is I'm just going to copy the URL, the basic URL where we're sending it, and leave the endpoint like this, because I'm going to add further endpoints to my necessary where I'm sending the request. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Make sure this is saved. Go to player and let's paste it here. So now let's have a look back to the documentation. And let's find player information. So this is the player. So to get the type of request is a get, and the player endpoints is the players / player tag. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, to put a hash, it's the %23, the pound key. And let's go ahead and put a tag for the example here. And let's see if this is valid. Okay, so it's not found. So I'm probably going to double check on the player tag or the spelling, any of the spelling behind mistakes. So guys, I'm going to come across a problem like this. So you have to bear with me, because this is, again, I'm not going to put together information where things works and then when you try it doesn't work. It wouldn't make sense. So if we all go through together the problem that are going to arrive and solve it, then it makes things much more easy. So let's have a look. So it says players, player tag. So let's go back there. Right. Players and yeah. So and I'm gonna double check the tag. So it's CL9J. So I misspelled there. So CL9LJ triple U. So now let's try. So I figured out the issue was on the tag. And there you go. We have the request back. And you can see, guys, all the information about this specific player and their town hall level, whatnot. And we're going to use all this information later. So yeah, let's go ahead and save this. So this is a good way to test any APIs, and if there's any to do some investigation on any APIs, that how can we retrieve and further experiments, then this is a great tool to do so as the industry best practices considered. So let's close it. Actually, before we close, we want to do another one, which is Warlog. Let's go ahead and add request. So we'll say get war log. And we're going to add that. Again, we're going to just copy this URL. And paste it there. And now we're going to have a look at the endpoint. So let's go back to our documentation. And we can open the clan. And we can see this clan war leagues, clan tag. We're just looking for a war log, so which is /clan/clan tag/war log. So this is the end point that we need to hit on our route. So please do go ahead and read. So I'm just gonna get this information onto my Postman and we'll see the results. There are some suggestions automatically came. I'm probably going to use these guys, but do feel free to use any tags as you like. So /warlog. I'm going to double check if that's the case. Yep, that's the case. So let's go ahead and send the request. And we got access denied. Right, so we got access denied. And let's see, the status code is saying that 403 is forbidden, so we won't be able to get this information that we are requiring. What I can try in this case is that change the warlog. This one of this reason could be that I'm assuming right now that the warlog could be set to private. So when you set to private, that's why the API result is not allowing me to access the warlog. But I wouldn't assume that I would go in there and investigate furthermore just to confirm that there was nothing wrong. But in this case, just to keep the time short, I'm just going to test another clan tag. So let me quickly find another word clan tag. So I have another word tag, right? A clan tag. Sorry, excuse me. Now, so I'm just going to replace that here. And let's send a request. And there you go. So you can see that this warlog was publicly available for us to have a look. Hence, the API has sent the request back. So these are the things that we need to be careful. And please make sure your status codes, you check them because they mean something. Again, I'm telling you, they're not something to avoid because they tell you the reason why that was our previous request wasn't available. And I kind of straightforward thought rather than going around running about and trying to figure it, because all I had to do be smart and read it, and it was there basically. So let's go ahead and save it. So these are the three information we have retrieved so far, and it is pretty straightforward from this point, you can see. And later on, when we're going to use Python and the request library to get inside more, and you will see how we play around with this array objects and all these files that are requests coming. And so I'll go ahead and close them. So I'll just do the I'll put them in there. Now to the second part of our tutorial. So we have seen how to play around with the Clash of Clans API. So let's dive into the band. So I assume you're logged in, guys, because I wanted to make things short again for this one, and you have created a band. So I'll assume you have that too. Anything doesn't matter. For the beginning part, just try to use a fresh account so that you don't get confused with too many bands. So each band that you're gonna have key for them, and you're gonna retrieve information for all of them. And it's gonna be too many information, so you don't want to get lost if you're first time here. But feel free to do what you like here at this point. But this is some sort of like my opinion and suggestions to you. And let's go to the developers. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna go to my app, and you probably will have an app register if you followed in my section part 2 of this tutorial, and I have talked there what you need. And from here, if you click on this tutorial board, then the thing we're gonna use from here is the access token. So we really need that. And guys, please make sure that this information are not leaked. It could possibly lead to a security breach. So please make sure that you are the person, or if you are a team, then you're maintaining some sort of security authorization that who gets access and who is not. So be careful about this. So access token is the full token we're gonna copy. So for me, you're probably gonna see it's I put in a kind of some sort of square box before that. It's because that I also want to maintain my security, and I don't want to be in risk of leaking any information that I'm not supposed to anyway. But just to clear this out. And nothing else. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the access token from this section. Once you have copied, so let's go back to our documentation. Let's open the API and let's leave it here. We'll come back to that again in a minute. We're going to test exactly like we did for Clash of Clans API. Let's open up our Postman. Again, we're going to create our collections, a new collection by selecting new collections here, and we're going to name this band open API. And again, we're going to go to the variables. So this token is going to be using for all the authentication. So again, like I said before, we want to make this reusable, hence we're going to do this. So we're gonna call this band token, and on this section again we're gonna just paste it there. And let's go to authorization real quick. And again, read the documentation for authorization type. Obviously, I'm now telling you straight, but you have to read again. And in the future, if you work with another piece of tech like this, you also have to do your findings. For this one, I'm going to do auth 2.0. And over here, we're going to call that variable. That's it. Let me make this. Okay, so you can see the token. Right, so back to the descriptions, making sure that ensuring everything you have followed. Let's go ahead and create. And okay. Right, we don't have anything at the moment, so let's go ahead and add a request. We're gonna say the first thing we're gonna do, guys, is get the band key, which is we discussed on the part 2 why we have to do that, because if you look around here, this band has a unique identification, because Totbot could be written by millions of people, but to identify a unique your band is through the unique keys that they set, which is a string value of numbers and letters again. And let's have a look. To get there, they have given you the URL and the type of the request. So we're going to use this URL. And then you can see the parameter it takes is the access token, which we already set that up. So let's go ahead and open this, copy this, and go back to the Postman, and then paste it here. Right. And let's save it. Let's open this. And you can see we have already set up all the information. So now let's go ahead and send the information to there. So sorry, just real quick. I think I made a mistake here. Please apologize for that. So this should have been get band key. Yep. And then update. Sorry about that. That was supposed to go in URL section and I just put it as a name. Anyway, so we're going to paste it right here. So make sure it goes with the access token and you have the right URL and the right request type. So let's go ahead and send that. And we can see straight away there are some results has been sent us back, and we got the status code 200, which is perfectly fine. So with the band that we have is called Totbot, and just to verify again, that's the case. And let's go back there. And it has a cover, so you can actually get the image of the covers and so on. And you can get the member count too, and the band key. So we're more interested in this one, the band key. So what we're going to do is copy that. And now one thing to be, let's go ahead and save before that. For next part, what we're going to do is get the band post. So let's go here and have a look at the get post method. So you can see this is the target URL and the type is get, and this is the post method, URL, and there are some parameters taken, which is access token, band key, and the locale. So basically, this is what your region you are. So here it's like English, and then United States. For me, it would be GB, which is Great Britain, and which basically refers to your region. So from this point, what we're going to do, quickly go to the band and come to the band section here and go to Totbot right here. And obviously I made a post here, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete this and create a new post because we want to get the post. And let's do post. we got the hello world here. And now let's go back to the developers documents and let's copy this right here and go to Postman, create new request. So add a request here and we'll say get post and send to OpenAPI. And over here, so remember we have to pass in some parameter. So we could quickly go ahead and put this URL, which is /post. So this is where we're doing. And let's save this. And what we're going to do is just quickly check the parameter it takes, which is access token, band key, and local. So we're going to put this over here. And remember, we retrieved some band key from here, the one I'm using. So we're going to copy that too. Paste it here. Let's go ahead and save and let's send. Ta-da! We've got some results. As you can see, we have hello world, which is the content of that post. The post has a key too. And then there's a band key. So which band it was from. So it's a tutorial board. And yeah. The author's name and whatnot, basically who posted this and what was the post. Anyway, so that's the second one we just did. So now we're gonna go back and write some comment. We'll say hi. Send that. So now you can see under the hello world, we got hi. So now let's go to the Postman and do a new request here. So we're going to do add requests. And we're going to say get comment. So get comments. And let's go ahead. Let's go to browser. Let's go to documentation. Now we're going to have a look how to get the comments right here. So again, you're probably now familiar with this pattern and the parameter it takes. So we have to pass in all the parameters. So access token, band key, and the post key. And you can also swap them out if you really want to. But I'm going to just make a basic use here. Let's quickly go ahead and copy this. And go to Postman, get comments, paste it here. And from the previous post, what we can do, we're just going to copy from here just to save some time. Band key. And let's get the band key. And next thing we're going to require is the post key. So paste it there. Just gonna make this a little bit here. Okay. So the post key, if you look into your get previous request that you sent, it actually got the post key. So this is the post key. So we're gonna copy this because we want to get the comment for that specific post. So we put that there, hit save and send. Right, it's telling us that it is an invalid parameter. So let's have a look why we got that. We have passed in the access key, the band key. Let's take a look if there's any mistake we made. So let's see. So guys, please make sure when you're typing or copy and pasting there it is there, no empty space and whatsoever. This could, like, basically these authentications are a little strict. So let's go ahead and send. There you go. So what I did when I pasted there, I made a space a little bit there. So that's throwing an error. And let's have a look. So there you go. The band key and the content of that comment is high. So again, we confirm that we got that value that we required. Now to the next section. I know, guys, I'm going a little faster because just to save some time for the rest of the portion of the video. So let's do write comment. So now we're going to do our request type will change. So we're going to now try to write a post from the Postman. So let's have a look. And you can see the method is post. So before we were doing get, now it's post. So we have to be careful. So let's change this. Let's copy this one and go to the Postman. And we're going to create a new request. And we're going to call this post. We're going to say write post. Right, and then let's save it. So here, yeah, it's now a get, right? But we don't want that. Our documentation said the type of the method has to be post. So look, from this drop-down menu where it says get here, you just change it to post. And that will say send the request type to a post. Then we're gonna paste the URL. And let's have a look. What is the parameters? What are the parameters? So we're going to need access token. We're going to need a band key. And we're also going to need some sort of content. So what type of content you want to send there. So it's the body content, band ID, access. So you read these guys. So these are very important bits. And do push. But we wouldn't look into this one right at the moment. So we just look into the basic part. So let's go and fill this in like we did before. So from the previous one, I'm just going to grab the band key as it is. And the key itself. And here we're going to write the content. So we're going to copy this. Make sure there are no spaces. And let's scroll this a bit down so we can see. So now we're going to write some sort of content we want to post. So let's go ahead and type something in. Hi, I am Postman Cat. So let's hit the save and let's send it. Perfect. So it returned with the post key and band key. And let's see the status code. This is 200. So it means it has been successful. So let's go here and refresh our page. And you can see, hi, I am Postman Cat. So you can see we were able to send a post from Postman. I know it sounds a bit weird, but let's go back to the Postman real quick. So the last one we're gonna do for the part is the write comments. So guys, the ones I'm doing, these are the one we're gonna build top of the our piece of Python program. So all these will be used. That's why we are testing them. The ones are required. So if you require more, you test them here, and then you implement it. So let's go ahead and do our very last one and do write comments. And again, we're going to change the type to a post, but you ensure that you check and not blindly do like I did. So we'll go to write comment. I like things pretty much going flow through. So type again post. That was right. And this is the URL. So I'm gonna copy. And there are some parameters. So access token, ban key, and post key, and the body. So before it was the content, and now it's the body. So make sure, guys, these are correct. So if you did one thing at the first, don't assume that next one is going to be the landing saying, unless you are like blindly going, or you have done what you're doing. So it's good to check first and then do it, so you will not run into more errors. Let's go to the post and create. So now I'm going to quickly copy all this information. Right, and over here, what we're going to do is that we're going to copy the very last one, which is body. So I'm just going to go ahead and type that in, body, and write some comment here where we can say Postman cat who, and let's save it and let's send it. So, okay, we got invalid parameter. So let's have a look what we did. Make a mistake here. Okay, we left a post key, see? So a small mistake will throw you an error. So let's go ahead and copy this. And let's replace it here. And we'll go by order. So we'll put a body here. And we'll also copy this and paste it here. So again, to get the post key, remember we wrote that post, and this is how you get the key. Or if you don't have this information, then you can run the get post method and get the key from there. So either way. So let's save it. Fingers crossed it's gonna work. Perfect. So message returned with a success. Let's have a look. That's the case 200. Yep. And time it taken. So okay, there are a lot of information. It's a great tool. And let's go back and confirm that's the case. Ta-da! And we are able to post and comment on our post that we did through our Postman. So you can see, guys, how we retrieved information and comments, and then we also illustrated that we are able to make our own post and own comment to our own post. So I hope this made sense to you. I know I went a little fast here, honestly, and but we're gonna use this to build up. So let's go back to our presentation real quick. So we have completed the section of get post API calls using Postman. I hope I know it went really fast, guys, but I had to save some time for this video. So we're gonna now use those information and build our piece of functions for getting client information and sending it to post overall and writing code for them. So I know majority of you are just waiting for that part probably, and I'm very excited. So let's dive into that right now.